Okay, today is December 29th, 2020, and we had some rain on Monday, actually Sunday night into Monday. We had a pretty good amount. We had 1.32 inches of rain, and the rain started on Sunday night, and we had an electrical storm, and man, oh man, it was quite a storm. We haven't seen lightning like this in probably 30 years. Okay, and I'm not kidding. 30 years. The lightning was flashing with Jesus. Probably within every 15 seconds, we were having a bolt of lightning and just a lot of thunder and a lot of rain. And so overnight, as I say, the rain began on Sunday night, and we had 0.55 inches overnight on Sunday, and then in the morning on Monday, we had the rest of the rain. So it rained till I'd say about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it tapered off from there into just a drizzle. But pretty much the rain was all finished by about 1 p.m. So we had a grand total, once again, of 1.32 inches in the foothills of Los Angeles. Currently, we have 47 degrees here, 45% relative humidity. We have 27 degrees for the dew point, and the barometric pressure is 29.97. Now, this weather system that moved through on Sunday night is right up here. It's moving up and actually dumping a bunch of snow over the Great Lakes area and over Minnesota, Wisconsin. We can see that right here on the Doppler map. This is the storm that moved over us. Okay, and let's go back to the water vapor map here, and we can watch this 200 frame loop. It'll refresh here in just a second. We can see that low pressure system moves right over the Los Angeles area right there. And this is what brought all the thunderstorms. So that was interesting. We haven't had rain like that, or rather lightning and thunder like that, in, like I say, 30 years. I remember back in the 70s and the early 80s, we'd have thunderstorms, pretty good thunderstorms and a lot of rain. We got a lot more rain in those days than we do now. And of course, here on this water vapor map, we can see what's happening. That system has moved out to the up into the Great Lakes area. And what's interesting here is we have this jet stream flow, and look at the high pressure that builds in right on the heels of this low pressure, which, by the way, we had a barometric pressure reading of 29.68 during that rain event. So one phone, we don't have any rain scheduled for the next 6 days. We've got another phone that's got a 10-day outlook. I'll have to update in the comments later on what the outlook is. I think there is a day next week that we've got rain scheduled for 1 day next week. We'll look into that and update in the comments section. All right, so here we see in the water vapor map that this system's moved out, and we're going to see some of this moisture start to drop down into California. Now, we had very, very nice clean air. We had clear skies, natural puffy cumulus clouds, the leftovers from that system that's moved away. Great air quality, just great air quality. But as we see here, we've got moisture starting to dive down right here down into Oregon and California. And we have no rain in the forecast. So that means that the jets are going to be up again, once again, spraying the skies with the chemtrail aerosols to prevent further rainfall in our area. Now, the folks, people living in California, give us an update in the comments section of what you're seeing up in northern and central California as this moisture makes its way down. We always want to hear from the people that are living in those areas what's going on in your skies. So what we're probably going to see tomorrow is more spraying in California. As we look here at this is the long wave infrared map, and we can see some of this moisture diving down, and we'll keep an eye on that. But you can see that low pressure right there moving out of the area. So we had a good amount of lightning and thunder. That was quite a show, and it hailed like crazy. We had a hailstorm here too as well. And so the ground, it hailed for probably about a half hour, and the ground was white, but didn't stick around too long. Okay, so looking at the Doppler map, let's go ahead and take a look at the Doppler here. We can see all that snow is up in the North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan area, as well as down into Illinois and Ohio, and into Pennsylvania. We see in the north, rather the southwestern portion of Pennsylvania, we've got snow near Pittsburgh. All right, and we have thunderstorms throughout Oklahoma and Missouri, and into northwestern Texas. Out on the west coast, we have that Doppler, and we've got two WSR88Ds chopping up and evaporating the precipitation. We can see that Portland transmitter right there. You see those pie-shaped cutouts. Right there, the Portland, Oregon transmitter. I'll have to look that one up here. The other one in Camano Island, which is known as the Seattle/Tacoma WSR88D, which is KATX. And that is clearly visible there, evaporating the snow and rain in that area. So this is going on without people's knowledge. So areas that are having droughts, we can blame these weather controllers, which are managing the amount of rain areas have around these transmitters. And let me just look up in Oregon, the Portland transmitter is KRTX, and that's right down here. Okay, so there it is, live and in color. We can see how those ground-based microwave transmitters heat the atmosphere. These transmitters are housed in a radome on about a 6-story tower. You can look up the WSR88D on the internet. There's plenty of information about it. It's actually a dual function transmitter. The public knows that these transmitters are used for severe weather detection. That is, they have a low power function which bounces radar signals off of the incoming weather. These things pan and tilt, and they rotate sort of like a radar beacon does on a air traffic controller tower. However, these transmitters use 2.4 gigahertz microwave frequencies, 2.4 gigahertz, which is the same frequency as a microwave oven, by the way. And we can see that what happens. And so when you use enough power in those in the transmission of that microwave signal, you can actually evaporate and regulate the amount of precipitation in an area. I've explained this before, but to any of the, if there's any new subscribers on the channel, we have no idea actually how many subscribers we have as of the April before this year, the April before this April this year. We've had no changes in the amount of subscribers other than maybe a few hundred, gaining a few hundred, and then we lose a few hundred, but we've never broken through the 10,000 subscriber barrier. So we don't know if these videos are actually making it out into the internet wild, if people can find them on search engines. It's hard to tell. It's very hard to find the One Pacific Redwood brand on the internet and find the videos. They bury them because the people on these social media platforms don't want this information getting out. It obviously contradicts and completely upends the the carbon dioxide / global warming narrative, which is totally false and preposterous. And we've got other people on the internet, on Geoengineering Watch, Dane Wigington, he's still peddling information that the chemtrail aerosol jets are up spraying these aerosols to block the sun, which is another ridiculous, preposterous excuse. It's a phony narrative. These jets are always up spraying anytime moisture is approaching, and it's done to regulate the amount of precipitation and also to dry out the upper atmosphere. These aerosols are sprayed at about 35 to 40,000 feet. Okay. And the timing of the aerosols is very important. We know that well, we can forecast the aerosol spraying. So and it's also the spraying goes on at night. Okay, so jets don't spray at night in order to block the sunlight. So there's another reason why this is going on. So I'm sure people can connect the dots. It's fairly easy to figure it all out. So there's a lot of people on the internet. There's a lot of shills on the internet that are giving bogus information. They're shilling for the government. There's a weather modification and control program in place. And at the same time, we have a weather gambling, weather options and derivatives market going on Wall Street. All that stuff's on the internet. The mainstream media is not talking about it. They're complicit in all this criminal activity, including this election fraud that we've been looking at. The Supreme Court is a part of the deep state. We can't get these people to look at evidence of criminal wrongdoing, cheating. We can't get judges to look at this and evaluate it. So that forces us into a bad position. Same with this weather control business. Nobody's looking at it. Nobody's doing anything about it. But it's going on. And we know it's going on because we've got evidence of it going on. We've got plenty of evidence. We know how these transmitters function on the ground. We know how they work in space. I've been in the electronics business for 45 years. Okay. Now here we see the high pressure right here in this water vapor map. The dark area is the high pressure. We see that high pressure being installed right here, and that'll block a lot of this incoming jet stream moisture. We'll keep an eye on this, though. We can see some of this is going to dive down. Northern California, let us know in the comments what you see. That water vapor diving down. We'll probably see some jets up spraying tomorrow. It'd be my forecast right now, just looking at these maps. Out here on the East Coast map, we can see all that weather. This is what moved over California here just a day and a half ago. So all this is moving over the northeast. On Monday, we had very cold temperatures all day. It was 42 degrees. That was the high on Monday, which is pretty cold for Southern California. Today it got up to about, 64 or something, 63. A lot of snow on the mountains. The snow level came down to about, I'd say about 2,700 feet. So it was a really nice morning all day long. We had great fresh air, very fresh, crisp air, but I think all that's going to change as we see here. This moisture starts to dive down, and we'll see those jets up spraying because we've got no rain in the forecast. That's always the key indicator. If there's no rain in the forecast, we'll see the jets up spraying. If we've got rain, winter weather, a storm warning or something like that, there'll be minimal spraying, if none at all. Okay, and that allows the lift in the atmosphere, and that allows this moisture to produce precipitation as it moves in. But if it's been sprayed over with the aerosols are a desiccant because they contain a lot of aluminum, and that lowers the relative humidity. It absorbs the water vapor. It changes the dew points. It changes a lot of things. The humidity changes. The humidity goes down. The dew point drops. All right. There's a lot of things going on. Now, I would recommend everybody go into my playlist on this channel and look at the videos. We've got a video of Johnson talking about weather control back in about 1963 or 4. We've got all sorts of interesting stuff. Old television video from the 70s showing John Chancellor, giving out false information about atmospheric spraying and so forth. Check all that out and leave some comments if you like the videos, and we'll try to get another update here real soon. Okay, and I hope everybody had a great Christmas and Hanukkah and all the rest of it. So sorry we didn't get a video out sooner. Okay, we'll be back with an update real soon. That's it.